Back at Happy Valley on Wednesday night for 9 races this week. The Australian Turf Club Trophy is our feature race as well. Plenty to get through, plus looking back on the weekend action as well at Shartin. A very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'm Angela Jones, joined in the studio by our former analyst Paul Alley and race caller Brett Davis as well. Brett, and plenty to look back on, plenty to look forward to though as well.
Absolutely, Andrew. Yes, a 9-race card. Now, feature is race number 6. And we're looking forward to that. I think it's a very competitive night of racing at the Valley with 9 on offer. C+3 for the rail, so it'll be in its widest position, can sometimes favour those in the first half, but there's no set rules in place, are there?
Not at Happy Valley, no. Jackpot-wise, Paul, what do we got?
None.
Oh.
No, there's nothing there. No
You've
jackpots.
won it all, Paul.
Yeah, someone else. Not me, unfortunately, but well done if you managed to get some of that last week. But look, no jackpots, but as you mentioned, there's some really competitive cards. So there's some good betting opportunities, and who knows, there might be jackpots coming out of it.
Yeah, well, that's very possible.
All right, more on that in a moment or so. Let's look back at Shartin, though. First, we had the 3 Group 2s on the weekend with our racing review. All right, we'll go through in race card order. So we'll start off with the Jockey Club Mile. Of course, Beauty Generation beaten last time out. Odds-on favourite to regain the winning thread, but it wasn't to be.
No, it's back to the drawing board. He's a chance of turning it around again. I thought there was a slight excuse. I know Carrying Star got past him again in the end, but that first part of the race was quite a unique situation where they went to the wide part of the track. They eyeballed each other for a while, but it does look at this stage like Beauty Generation sort of stretches out for 150 or 200, and then he just starts to peak. He's not sustaining that, but take nothing away from the winner. Waikuku's always been a very smart horse, and he's starting to deliver his best, Paul.
Yeah, they have to be scratching their heads. I mean, Simply Brilliant almost went past them there.
Spirit closing as well. Nice horses.
Yeah, but nowhere near. But he said that such high cruising speed, didn't he, where he just ground the others into the ground, but it just wasn't there in the last couple of hundred.
All right, but Waikuku, he'll press on to the mile, and he's really come out of last year's 4-year series in great height, as has, it's good to see now Fiore turn this around a little bit. Exultant, though, the winner, and defence of his crown looks spot on.
Well, his form is rock solid, isn't he? We know he's beat Voldegast and Greaseless Share. He's come out and won international Group 1s. He's come back here in a really nice third, fresh up and fast time. He's come up to 2,000 metres and won impressively. So, look, he's just flying at the moment.
He's just so strong, isn't he? A real stayer, isn't he? Just got all the attributes, just keeps getting better and better, and he'll be very hard to beat, I would have thought, again in the Vars.
Yeah, Southern Legends now got options finished. They're a little bit disappointed with Rise High, but this was a sprint. Looked a tremendous lineup on paper, but Athero found the front, and that's the last they saw of him.
Exactly, and you can see here, I think, you know, he's still such a young horse, a baby. You can see he's trying to get himself to go faster and faster, but because he's so big and lengthy, he takes a while to really build up, and then he just gears down here late, Karras. He could have broken the track record there, I reckon. Very exciting animal. We know he's best left alone and getting into rhythm. It takes a while for him to build, but he is something.
Yeah, and the others are going to have to give him weight again as well, aren't they, in the international?
He'll carry an extra 4 pounds on international.
Well, I think the others will be hoping he draws the squeeze, like 7 or 8 with a bit of pace around him, because we've seen him in congestion. If he can't utilise his attributes, then it's a different ball game.
But he needed a ratings rise to get into the race. He got it with 17.
Just a lazy 17.
So that's extraordinary. Waikuku with 3. And Ultimate Glory, the 9-year-old, bobs up again, won like a 3-year-old.
He did. Yeah, it's a credit to all concerned with Ultimate Glory that he's just racing and feeling so well. Yeah,
that was a super win from him in our earlier race. All right, those are the big winners of the afternoon. We'll see if we can find some more now with our horses to follow. All right, Paul, what did you find on the weekend? I think there was probably a few to choose from.
There definitely was. I found one that won't be in the international races. It's a horse called Fantastic Show. You can see him in the green colours. He was back here at 1,400 metres, and he's on a rating of 41 now, so he's really close to this downgrade. And he came through the sort of outside, down the outside of the track. He hit the line very strongly. I thought it was a very eye-catching run. So if he does get downgraded, I think he's a winner waiting to happen. He doesn't look too far away. I mean, the winner was far too good, but it was a really nice run from him.
Yeah,
that was Ultimate Glory.
It was, and he was spec late, the one Paul's highlighted there.
Yeah.
You've picked a race. There's probably 3 or 4 out of this one, Brett.
There are, yeah, definitely. Sea Right Dragon, obviously, who's last, as you can see in the yellow cap. He comes to the outside, but he got a clear run. I thought the horse here, Be Ready, who was back in the early stages, he sort of went for a bit of congestion and sort of really found it quite well. You can see here he's going through the gap and it gets all very, very tight. He lays in a little bit. Then there's that issue there with grade 1. He lost a bit of momentum, lost balance. But he was still finding the line quite well. It was interesting in the betting. He was very solid throughout. He did win 4 under the title of We Concur in Australia. I think he's quite talented. So I'll follow him.
I quite liked High Rise Soldier. He ran second on debut as well. And
I like blotting paper out of that race as well. I got no luck as well.
There's a few in that.
Yeah,
There is. All right.
Hopefully.
Kyeing Excellent. Now, he's on debut as well, Kyeing Excellent. Last as they swing into the straight. The other debutant, actually, is pretty close to him, Invaluable. Well, it's a debutant, wins this race in the orange jacket at the front in Simply Spectacular and did it in pretty professional fashion. But Kyeing Excellent, he'll improve off this. Didn't make it easy, I don't think, on the day for himself, but see the way he's out of shot just for a moment or so, but see the way he flashes home late here. So experience will take him a long way, I think, next time. Yeah,
I think it's fair to say, Andrew, there's a bit of a new wave coming through in the hierarchy here in racing. You know, we saw Waikuku, we've seen obviously Exultant hold his ground, and then now Athero in the sprint. But I think overall, with the injection of all these new horses, we've got more horses coming in now with Chunfa in operation. We're starting to see a little bit of a new wave of horses arriving and taking over from some of the others that have been around for 2 or 3 years. It's something that does happen sort of, you know, every 3, 4, 5 years. I think we're seeing it again.
Yeah, we've got a bigger horse population, haven't we, which is obviously more depth to the group. Here are the suspensions of fines out of the weekend. Jack Wong, Chad Schofield, Zach Purton and Alfred Chan. Big Fortune was running that race we just saw a moment or so ago, got into a bit of trouble. And Alberto Sanna with Dancer's Dragon, an adjourned inquiry there. So more on that later, but that brings you up to date as far as Sha-Tin is concerned. Moving ahead to Happy Valley, though, our 9-race programme on Wednesday night is meeting number 20. We're on the C+3, as Brett mentioned before, and the first of the 9 races is a Class 5. It's over the 1650 with 12 due to head to boast. Headed by Kambeki Molly. Gets the class drop. Gets up in trip, though, as well. Gold Velvet, a course and distance winner in the past. Bundle of Energy gets the class drop as well, an important one. Golden Cannon, very consistent in this sort of grade. Hidden Spirit winner on the dirt 2 starts. Back down to My Dear. Keith Young from barrier number 9. Now, as far as Chungfa is concerned, Savannah Wind, Hidden Spirit, Money Winner and My Dear, the horses that have been up and back in the last 30 days. There's
a few difficult ones to work out with regards to the speed map. I think this is potentially one of them because there's not a lot of foreseeable pace in the race. Maybe Kambeki Molly. Association Fans is not a noted leader. Maybe they go closer with My Dear early. A few question marks to be answered for the first.
Association Fans, now this will be his 6th run for this season, so he's a pretty fit horse. This horse, he can play up a lot, as we know. He's a 2-time winner in the grade, so he's going well at the moment, but he's very fit, so just about the most raced horse of the season, I think. Bundle of Energy gets downgraded. He hasn't won yet, but look, he's raced plenty of placings, 4 in fact, and he moves nicely here. That's him on 279 on the far side. He's working with London Hall. And My Dear, he's an interesting one because they bring him up to 1650 for the first time. He's bred for it by Soldier Hollow. You can see he's under a bit of a hold here as well as he comes in. He can pull in his races. So I'm interested to see how he goes over the 1650. OK, that is My Dear. He's wearing the tongue tie. You can see the tongue lolling about there. We'll start off here with Everyone's Elite. Didn't get the clearest of runs here. We're finishing 3rd behind Blazing Partners.
It was a reasonable run, actually. He's definitely one to consider for the race, drawn well. He's had some soundness issues, just his 7th start as a 5-year-old. Look, I wanted to put him in. Eventually, I left him out, but a chance in the race for sure.
Yeah, I've got him in. I just think he's... this was his first start in Class 5. He's by Delicani as well, so stepping up to 1650 I thought was good for him. OK, Everyone's Elite then. Association Fans has been racing consistently. He was a winner 2 starts back, 3rd behind Wonderful Tiger last time, Gold Velvet, and the ever consistent Golden Cannon. Yeah, look, I've got Association Fans in the numbers. He's just racing really well at the moment. He's got that unusual racing style, and he swishes his tail and carries on, and he sort of tries to get himself beaten. He ran sort of a nice 3rd in this, so I've got him in there on a monoline.
I thought Golden Cannon there sort of held up for a run at a critical stage and couldn't get really clear. We know Class 5, they need everything to go right. It didn't happen quite for him there.
All right, so Golden Cannon with a slight excuse. Happy Hour, what of his chances?
Well, I'm going to give him a chance. This was 1650. This was quite a good run. Following this, he went up to 2200, and obviously it didn't eventuate for him, but you could see here he had a checkered passage. He ran okay behind Young Glory, but they quickened up a long way out, and that really didn't suit him. But he was all over the place there, but actually ran quite well. But with the additional fitness underneath his belt, he gets a chance for me.
Yeah, interesting coming back to the 1650.
All right, OK. Bundle of Energy. He's a must for the top 4, isn't he, Paul? Punters have him as favourite.
Yeah, I've got him in there, but not on top. I'm going to go with everyone's elite. Downgraded, ran a really nice race in Class 5 up and trip, and I think he maps well. So he's on top to beat Bundle of Energy, Association Fans and Hidden Spirit, coming back to the turf where he's run well before. 2-5-4-10.
Yeah, Class 5, I wanted some value here. I did change my numbers around a few times. Initially, I had Happy Hour on top, but I'm going to go with Hidden Spirit. The way he won on the all-weather a couple of starts ago, he was terrific. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that poor run last start, and maybe he can switch his form to the turf. 10 and 6, I think if they're both value, I might take a little piece of both of them. Golden Cannon, Bundle of Energy, and everyone's elite, as Paul's mentioned, has got to be some hope too.
Yeah, I got the same cue as Paul, but I'll go with Bundle of Energy. Anyone who doesn't know him, he's finished his 19 starts, 3rd or 4th, 10 times yet to win or second.
He's one of those from the old wave, Andrew.
But he gets the class drop here. This could be the difference in Zach
Yes, he
from barrier
does.
3. OK, that's the first event.